heading towards the end of the year here, 2024, and we want to do a market update, I guess, a State of the Union for the watch world. Hey guys, welcome back to Oliver Smith Watches. I am George. This is Ryan. We feel we've got a pretty good beat on the market, both locally and nationally. Ryan and I have collectively been doing this for 20 years now. You know what? Take away, Ryan. What are your thoughts on the market right now?
I feel like it's pretty stable. Obviously, it's an election year, so I feel like, once we hit that election, it could jump up, and usually it does jump up in the last couple months, just heading into Christmas or holidays.
Yep.
So right now, I think it is pretty stable. Good time to buy. A lot of those watches that got released early in the year have started to come down, which is great. Like the Bruce Wayne, for example.
Sure.
That first hit the market, 30, 35,000. Now I feel like it's an actual reasonable price, or where it should be, basically at 17.5, depending on, which bracelet you go with. That's just one example, but it's just one of those things where I feel like the market has finally gone down to a great kind of marketplace.
Sure.
Where it's great for buyers, and it's also great for us, and a lot easier conversation to have.
Facts.
We're not talking 6x, whatever the retail is.
Well, and I think there's this overriding thought process that the market's crashing, and I couldn't disagree more. We've kind of talked about it in the past. I like the word correction a lot more, and it's not that it's crashing, it's coming down to a reasonable conversation. It was nuts there, as most of you, if you're watching this channel, you kind of know, you were there. Yeah, I mean a Daytona shouldn't be $50,000. I can argue it up to that amount, but that's insane. So now what we're seeing is Daytona's around double retail,
which it should be. It's one of the hardest
interesting
ones.
We just noticed something the other day. It seems like the market might finally be deciding between the newest generation steel Daytona and the last generation steel Daytona,
and it's a split on dials.
It is a split on dials.
Black dial, it's the new. White dial, it's the old.
Correct.
Yes.
I've been seeing the last gen black dial coming down to 26, 27, and 28's been that floor for the longest time. So kind of interesting there. And I kind of agree with it. I'm not a huge fan of the new white, but that's just me. The new black, ooh, that's pretty good.
Correct,
So I'm kind of in line with that. So then you can start to see little areas where there might be a good deal.
Right.
If you're looking for a steel Daytona, you could pick up a black last gen ceramic at a better price than in a lot of years.
Correct. Yes,
So again,
absolutely.
kind of dovetailing into, is it a good time to buy? Yeah, but we're also the guys who are trying to sell you watches, so grain of salt there.
Right. But I mean, it is a good time to buy. If I was buying a watch right now, I would buy now instead of in November, December. To be honest with you.
Because what I think, besides it being an election year, I think we're still having a little bit of that hangover from people who previously weren't in the industry jumping into the pool when things are hot.
Right.
And they're sitting on surplus merchandise and they're panicking and trying to burn it down before it hits bottom.
Correct.
And it's so funny. It's like the stock market. You're chasing way after the wave. I had so many friends who bought watches on the way up, and suddenly this watch you bought for $30,000 is now $60,000, and you're like, oh, that's crazy, but I'm never going to sell it. And we're like, well, you probably should. And now that it's back down to 28, they're selling. It doesn't, everybody kind of missed that selling at the hype part. Yeah. In summation, right now, I think some of the best prices in the market are happening.
Yep.
After the election, that all changes. For those of you who don't know, election years are always strange in our line of work. People with a lot of money, almost don't care who wins.
Correct.
What they're looking at is what their financial plans are going to be, and if this, then they're going to do this. If that, then they're going to do that. And when you're in a point of indecision, you just don't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think there's some stagnation in the market. I think there's some panic selling. So right now, if you're in the market and you got a little cheddar, might be a good time to jump in.
Correct.
Because after the election, things change.
Yep.
And then ramping up towards the holiday, you're exactly right. I think that's when stuff gets nuts. So either now or February.
Correct. Yeah. Wait it out if you can. And also, sorry for being so Rolex heavy, but they're also it's the biggest swinging market that we can talk about, basically.
Yeah.
So
and
before I see all the comments about it. So.
Yeah, no, and it's absolutely facts. I mean, the stainless steel Daytona is our benchmark for the health of the market. That's what we monitor, and then everything else kind of falls in line with that. So yeah, forget the Rolex content, but I mean, big green's big green, man.
That is true.
That's how that works. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. We'd love to hear from you down below. If you're traveling, we got 2 stores in Scottsdale now. We have the main store here at Gainey. We have a new store down in Scottsdale Fashion Square. And if you're fortunate enough to be in Aspen, please say hi to the guys up there for us. Thanks.